As an elementary school teacher in Florida, um, one of the things that teachers always do at meet the teacher and things like that is they like send home this cute little like meet the teacher thing where it has like a little bio about us. How do I do that next year? Do I not talk about my marriage?
Ding, ding, ding! What do we have for her, Johnny?
Do I pretend I'm single? Do I invalidate my spouse's stance as a trans femme person? What am I supposed to do?
You need to shut the fuck up!
Walt Disney built his dream on the simple philosophy of teaching children that good always triumphs over evil. Yet modern Disney is using its cash to play the clapping monkey to the radical's organ grinder. And Bounding into Comics has a piece that's pointing to a brewing civil war inside the company to save the founder's original vision. As of today, sadly, Disney is no longer a home for kids, but it's a shelter for broken adults. Welcome, Slayer Nation! I hope everyone is feeling good and strong, fortified for the fight ahead. My best to you and yours. The Mouse House is falling, and Bounding into Comics has some great news about some courageous insiders who are taking a stand against the sleeper cells of social justice spoil sports that infiltrated their beloved company. See, once upon a time, Disney's family brand was its bread and butter. But now, the entertainment giant's destiny is bound to the fate of the millennial generation it helped create. So in order to survive, in order to thrive, the company must continue producing its product. And its product just happens to be overgrown children from broken families. They need to groom them so that they are impatiently ready to embrace radical causes and utopian nightmares. Because quite frankly, healthy, functional adults are just not as profitable as dysfunctional ones who are addicted to consume their product. And if you don't believe me, just listen to Disney's corporate president, Karey Burke, how she's pushing her agenda to make sure that the product comes out on time. Remember, it's all about the product.
We jumped up and down. We celebrated that. Nobody stopped us. And it felt great. In part, I think nobody stopped us because we were, we were targeting Gen Z and millennials. And now we know, as my son texted me this morning, Gen Z is 30 to 40% queer than the other generation's mom. So Disney better get with it.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Gen Z is 30 to 40% queer than the other generation's mom. So Disney better get with it.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Like I said, Disney is no longer a home for kids. It's just a shelter for broken adults. And before we jump into this Bounding piece, if this is your first time here, I invite you, take a moment, it's just a minute, and push the subscribe button down below and join the conversation. Now, let's jump into the article. Numerous Disney employees call out company's radical opposition to Florida's anti-grooming bill. It's quite simple for some background. This is all the media's been throwing a hissy fit along with Hollywood over the last few weeks about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' parental rights and education bill. This has nothing to do with a don't say gay bill. They've been calling it that, don't say gay. There's no such thing when you read the entire bill. There's nothing negative. There's no negative word. There's no strikeout. It doesn't say we're removing every gay word in the curriculum. Nothing at all. It simply returns the power to parents to be able to choose and guide teachers in K through 12, that's kindergarten through third grade, for their kids and what they study, the curriculum, what they learn. That's it. And so Bounding into Comics is diving into this piece about employees at Disney who are standing up. Now, a lot of these emails that I'm going to share with you were given to Jack Posobiec. Their names and faces have been blotted out. But don't let it go unsaid that there aren't people inside one of the world's largest entertainment corporations that are not standing tall and putting everything on the line to not only save their corporation, but to save your children. Earlier this week, messages were leaked by a cast member to Human Events Daily's Jack Posobiec from internal communications boards showing that many Disney employees are in favor of the bill and do not agree with the company's loud opposition towards it. So here we go with our first one. I support the bill. I'm gay. I think any form of sexual education shouldn't be taught until you're older and able to understand it, not when you're young and influential to the people who you are teaching you. And in a perfect world, we wouldn't have teachers imposing their own personal beliefs. But this world is imperfect, and it does and has happened in other states. Children kindergarten through third grade are learning basic skills still. How to read, write, count, socialize. They don't even start going through puberty until maybe fourth grade at the earliest. So leave the bill alone because it isn't infringing on any members of the LGBT community, nor is it to the heterosexual one. If you think it is, then maybe the issue lies with you, wanting children to be involved with sexual things before they're physically and mentally ready for it. It's straight to the point, elegant, and it crystallizes exactly what the parents in Florida have been fighting for. But do you think that is exactly how Disney's executive producer, Latoya Raveneau, sees it? Judge for yourself.
The showrunners were super welcoming, Meredith Roberts, and like our leadership over there has been so welcoming to like my like not at all secret gay agenda and my like not at all secret gay agenda. And so like I feel like I felt like it was, I mean, like maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess like something must have happened in the last like they're turning it around, they're going hard, and then all that like momentum that I felt, like that sense of I don't have to be afraid to like, let's have these two characters kiss, let's in the background, like I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness. Wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to like if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud family. But like I just was like, no one would stop me. No one would stop me. No one would stop me.
After that, we have another employee who stood up and let their thoughts be heard. Let children be children. Most everyone is very ignorant as to what the actual wording of what the bill says and who it applies to. It doesn't apply to gays or trans. It applies to our education system. The governor of Florida, along with the state legislature, felt compelled to write a bill that give the rights to the parents of raising their kids as well as having regulations to our school systems. If kids ask about sex, then I believe it is the parents' responsibility and discretion. But also, if the teachers are asked from the students, then the teachers need to communicate it to the parents as noted in the bill. Simple. Parents want to take back their choice in their children's education. But these radicals at Disney just don't see it that way. Remember, they have a product to produce, deadlines to meet. They have to keep the company profitable. Well, do you think their chief executive officer, Bob Chapek, you think he heard any of that, or he only paid attention to the radicals? Well, last week, he nearly pulled his pants down, bent down on figuratively on all his knees and hands, and put his butt in the air just so he could be paddled by every Twitter hashtag hero in the company, by every TikTok video vigilante, and every ravenous hyena pack of radicals to paddle him over and over. He did everything but commit harakiri. He apologized on bended knee.
By now, I hope you've all read my most recent note, in which I pledged to be a better ally for the LGBTQ+ community, apologize for not being the ally that you needed me to be, and committed to ensuring that our company lives up to its values. I meant every word, and that's what we're here to talk about today. I understand that we've made mistakes and the pain that those mistakes have caused. And I know that our silence wasn't just about the bill in Florida. We've heard many suggestions on how to do that, and we are working to move quickly. I am convening a meeting with all my direct reports and representatives of the Advisory Council to discuss the thoughtful suggestions that have been made.
Do you think he listened to any of the other employees? They didn't say anything. He didn't even mention all the people who are speaking out. They're taking a chance with their livelihoods. I mean, these aren't people who are just saying, hey, I mean, we don't see their names and faces in these emails, but everybody else in the company does. And everybody else in Hollywood and the entertainment industry knows exactly who they are. They're not just risking this for themselves and to save their company. They're doing this to save your children, to save this joy that used to come out of Disney that painted a smile on everyone's face. And they're not alone. You know, true courage, true honor sparks and inspires those to stand up. And we had another cast member who in Burbank, California this weekend stood outside of the Disney gates along with the rest of the protesters.
And I'm a cast member here at for Disneyland, actually. I've been with them for quite a long time, and it's gotten very political, and it's gotten very hard to be who you are. It's gotten very hard to be someone who has conservative values, someone who believes in the right to choose, somebody who believes that it's okay to stand up for righteousness. It is okay to stand up for righteousness. To any Disney cast members that are afraid to be bold, that are afraid to be courageous, stand up. It's okay. You're not alone.
Wow. What do you think of that? So many people standing up. Why? Because, see, a long time ago, we invited Disney into our homes. We welcomed them into our hearts so they could soothe, our worn minds and our sore muscles after a long day's stress of everyday life. We embraced them every time they opened theme parks, and we heralded and applauded them at every movie event because they painted forever smiles on all our children's and families' faces. But then somewhere along the line, they started catering to these overgrown, perpetual Peter Pan millennials, and they turned their backs on us. In my entire life, I've never seen a mouse bait and set a trap for itself. Well, I don't want you to worry about it, because just like these employees have the courage to stand up, so many more others are doing the same. And their eyes are opening, and they are going to make sure the trap shuts closed. And remember, never bow down, never bend the knee, firmly define. Step up, stand tall, and get busy living your best life now, always forward.